vidyāra vilāse kanainu kala paramasa hase ami. श्रीमते भक्ति विकास स्वामी नामिने नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशकारिणे नमो भक्ति विनोदाय सच्चिदानंद नामिने गौर शक्ति स्वरूपाय रूपानुगवराय ते गौराविर्भावभूमस्थं निर्देष्टा सज्जन प्रियः वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So today is Bhaktivinoda Thakur's appearance day, and afternoon we heard elaborately about Bhaktivinoda Thakur and the life history from Damodar's class. So I'm not going to discuss again the same life history, but the song which we have sung, this is written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. There are many interesting songs actually, and every song is very important and it's really amazing. But this song, this is from Sharanagati, Vidyāra, Vilāse. It's very inspiring whenever we sing, and we will see the meaning of this song. vidyāra vilāse katainu kal parama sahase ami tomara charana nabhajinu prabhu ekono sharana tumi. With great enthusiasm I passed my time in the pleasure of mundane learning. I never worshipped your lotus feet, O Lord, but now you are my only shelter. So here Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his old age is singing this song, and he is remembering his life. Actually Acharyas, they are not fallen, they are setting the example how to pray to Lord. The songs of Vaishnava Acharyas are not to be understood that Acharyas are fallen, because whenever Acharyas they sing that I am fallen, doesn't mean that they are fallen. From our perspective we should understand that Acharyas they are setting an example. But Acharyas they really feel that they are fallen. It's not fake humility. They are not trying to fake their, they don't think this is for instructing others, or actually I am not fallen, but I have to sing like this so that others can learn. No, it's not like that. In Acharyas they sing that they are fallen, it's their humility. But from their humility we should understand that this is our condition, and we should also pray like this to Lord. Because generally nobody thinks that they are fallen. Everybody thinks they are great and they are elevated. This is the conditioned nature. In material world, if you ask anyone, are you fallen? They say, no, I am not fallen, I am clear, I am clever, I am intelligent. This is what everybody replies. But in spiritual life we see the more one advances, the more one feels that I am low, I am nothing, I am insignificant, I am fallen. So this is advancement of spiritual life. This is naturally, this comes of humility, this nature of humility. And we can learn from Bhaktivinoda Thakur's and other Acharyas, Vaishnava Bhajans, that they show utter humility. And we can learn how to pray to Lord in the similar way. So here Bhaktivinoda Thakur, though he is Paramahamsa, he is singing, he is remembering his past, and he is singing, with great enthusiasm I passed my lifetime in the pleasure of mundane learning. Because Bhaktivinoda Thakur was majestic, and he is very learned scholar. So he is, repenting that I never worshipped your lotus feet. I have wasted my life in learning all these mundane things. Oh Lord, now you are my only shelter. So this is from the series of songs called Sharanagati. So these songs, Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains what is Sharanagati. So in this song we can see that he is surrendering himself to Lord, saying that I have wasted my life spending my time in learning all nonsense things. And podite bharasa bharilo jnane gati hame mani seyasha bifala se jnana durbal se jnana ajnane jani. Reading on and on, my hopes grew, for I considered material knowledge to be life's true path. That hope was fruitless, that knowledge proved feeble. I know now that all such knowledge is pure ignorance. So now he has become old, so he is saying, those knowledge which I learned, it's of no use now. What's the point of learning such big things? Because he is repenting that I didn't surrender unto you. So, we know the story from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's Upajnana Upadesh, that there is a scholar and the boatman. And the scholar, he was riding on the boat, they were crossing the river. There was boatman, he was sailing the boat, crossing the river. And the scholar was asking, the scholar asked the boatman, that, sir, do you know about, what do you call, he asked about some physics, something, what he has studied in science and all this mundane knowledge, he told. No sir, I am simple boatman, what will I know about physics and all these things? I am not a scientist or a scholar like you. You don't know this, you wasted your, 25% of your life. And he was going ahead, and the scholar was asking, do you know how these clouds they form and how this rain comes, all these things? He told, no, I don't know all these things, sir. I am simple boatman, what will I know about how this all happening around me? I don't know. What? You wasted your 50% of your life, like that he was speaking. And then after some time he was asking about, some other scientific terms and all. And he told he doesn't know. And he was like putting him down that you are wasted your life. And after a few minutes, it started raining. There was heavy rain, there was flood, there was wind. And the boatman asked, sir, do you know how to swim? And the boatman, and the scholar said, so sorry sir, I didn't learn swimming. And he told, you wasted your 100% of your life. Because now there is going to be flood and I cannot swim. I can swim, this boat is going to drown. And you are going to fall inside this river and you are going to die. You have wasted your 100% of your life. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur quotes the story and he says, one may be a big scholar, one may be a very, very rich person, one may be materially acquainted with many various qualities, he may be very knowledgeable, but if he is not surrendered to Krishna, if he doesn't have devotion for Krishna, whatever he has, everything is of no use, it's all useless. Simply has to suffer and take birth again and suffer. So this is what Bhaktivinoda Thakur is explaining here. I wasted my life trying that, hoping that this knowledge will give me happiness. But this is of no use because this knowledge is pure ignorance. What is knowledge? Knowledge means, Bhagavad Gita Krishna says, what is knowledge? Knowledge means knowing three factors. What are the three factors which you have to know? Three things you must know. No. What is the three things? Krishna says this is knowledge. So if you know these three things, yes. What is soul? What is super soul? And relations between them. As simple as this is true knowledge. And nowadays people, they are thinking, they are claiming that they are very intelligent and they are very knowledgeable. They are proud of their education and their advancement. And what they are trying to research, all their research and advancement is all about only 5 things. And what are the 5 things? All the mundane development or this materialistic education or the scientist, whatever they are trying to do, advancing and all these things, Bhagavad Gita Krishna says in one shloka, about all these things, whatever they are trying to do the research. Bhumi Rapo Nalavayu Kamana Budhire Vacha. And this is Krishna's separated energy. Krishna says mind, intelligence and ego. But they are nowhere near to mind, intelligent, ego. They don't have any clue about how mind works, how this ego works, what is this intelligence all about. Everybody is stuck with this 5 gross matter. What is this 5 gross matters? Bhumi Rapo Nalavayu. And earth, water, fire, ether and land. So these things, everybody is trying to research these 5 elements, where this all is coming from, where this universe is coming from. And they don't have any idea about soul, super soul, what to speak of super soul, soul. They don't have an idea about how mind is working, where this thought is generated from, how this intelligence is functioning, why someone is intelligent, why someone is not intelligent, where is this memory power coming from. So these are the subtle things they don't have any idea about. And what to speak about Atma, Paramatma and the relation between Atma and Paramatma. These are the higher subject matters. So knowledge means not just about the material matter which we are seeing, gross elements. There are something much more to learn about and to do research on. These scientists, they can't understand the subtle things. For that they need to understand Bhagavad Gita. They need to study Bhagavad Gita, they need to study Shastra. So whatever knowledge which we think, the mundane scholars nowadays, they think as knowledge is pure ignorance and it's of no use. It's ultimately going to, will not help a person to overcome all the suffering. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur goes, Jada Vidya Jata Mayar Vaibhav Tomara Bhajane Bhada moha janamiya anitya samsare jive ke korai gada. All mundane knowledge is but the power of the Lord's illusory energy, Maya, and an impediment to your service. It makes an ass out of your eternal soul by bringing about infatuation for this temporary world. So this is a very powerful statement Bhaktivinoda Thakur makes, that this mundane education, mundane knowledge is illusory potency of Lord. Mundane education means this mundane world, whole material world is illusory energy of the Lord, glaring material potency. Seems very attractive, and everybody wants to know what is this, how this is working. And by doing such kind of things, it makes an ass out of an eternal soul by bringing about infatuation for this material world. One becomes an ass by becoming more and more inclined towards material world. It makes us to work hard to be happy in this material world. Because what is this material knowledge is teaching? They are teaching that this world is full of happiness. But actually, this is not the place of happiness. Krishna says this is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. This is place of misery. And what we are trying to do, looking at this material world, how can I enjoy this world? The more you try to enjoy this world, one becomes ass. Means they run. Why the ass is many times in Bhagavad Gita, in Shastra, in Prabhupada's lectures, and we see in Bhagavatam also. Those who are materialistic people, they are compared with ass. Why do Bhagavatam compares materialistic person with ass? What does ass do? It simply labors for what? To get some grass. Actually, nowadays we don't see, ass everywhere. Yeah, recently when I was in Bharuch, I saw many of the ass. They are just roaming on the road. No work. People are becoming very busy, and the ass become very happy because they don't have any work. Washing machine has come, and transport vehicles have come. Previously, they were used for transportation of like sand, cloths, to carry load. But now they have invented vehicles. So thanks to all modern scientists that they have relieved us from working so hard, and they started working so hard like us. So why the Shastra is comparing that materialistic person to us is because it works so hard for little grass. It carries so much of sand, so much of weight, and finally what happens? The owner, the in charge, he will give little grass. But grass is all around. Wherever you look, there is grass. But the donkey thinks that if I work this hard, then only I can get the carrot or the grass. Otherwise, I can't get the grass. So happiness, materialistic happiness is very cheap, and it is obtained by even animals. We doesn't have to work so hard to get whatever the happiness which we are getting, like from eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. This happiness is even obtained by animals like donkeys. But the cheap happiness, which is obtained even by animals, for that happiness, humans, they are trying very, very hard. Very, very hard. But happiness, it's not just that you need to work so hard and you need to get little happiness, You can get happiness very easy way. What is that? How do you get happiness from? If you understand Bhagavad Gita, Shastra, you can understand how to be happy in life. You don't have to work so hard. But as cannot think. As donkeys, they can't think big. They think if I work so hard, then only I can get my grass. Otherwise I cannot. And it doesn't know why I have to work so hard. It simply works. So humans, nowadays, in the name of advancement, they are complicating their life. They are working so hard to earn money. And after earning money, what do they do with the money? Sense gratification. They want to buy a house, they want to buy a car, they want to develop their property, their family, and ultimately what? They are going to die. And what are they going to carry with them? Nothing, zero. So that's why Shastra is saying, mundane knowledge and mundane education, this material world is making a person fool, like a donkey. So, Segade hoye samsara bhaja, vina aneka kal, badyate kon shaktira abhave kichu nahi lage bal. Here is one such as who has for long carried on his back the burden of material existence. Now in my old age, for want of power to enjoy, I find nothing pleases me. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur has become old and he is comparing very humbly. He is saying that I am also such an ass, such a donkey, because I have carried so much of burden of material existence, and now old age has come. For want of power to enjoy, I find nothing pleases me. And he says, there is no happiness. We can see old age people nowadays. What is their happiness? What do they do actually? TV. They just sit in front of TV whole day, or nowadays smartphones have come. When we travel in train, we can see, not old or child, everybody has their smartphone. And 24 hours they are completely absorbed in the smartphone, watching, many things which has nothing to do in their life and waste their time. And especially old people, their life is miserable. They are bored. They don't know what to do. They don't know what should be done at the time of death, old age, and they are living in fear when they are going to die. So much of burden they have taken. Whole life they have worked so hard. For what? For want of power, for money, for fame, for name. And at the old age, nobody is going to respect them. Who is going to take care of them? They have worked so hard for their children and their grandchildren. And when they become old, because they have not gained spiritual knowledge, they didn't educate their kids about spiritual knowledge, spiritual values. And when the old age comes, and the son or the grandsons, they think, what is the use of maintaining this old guy? Let him go to some old age home, live his life peacefully. Why? He becomes burden for the society, for the family, and fear of death. And everybody, all the relatives, they want to extract whatever money or the wealth he has acquired, and he is attached to that wealth. He doesn't want to give to their children. He has so much earned. For what? For to give to the kids. But he is so much attached that he doesn't want to give that, because he has fear. If I give everything to my kids, who will take care of me? In old age, this is common symptom for all the old people. They don't want to give their property. They don't want to give because they are afraid. What is they are fearful of? If I give this everyone, then they will not take care of me. And this is happening after giving the property to the kids, and they don't care for the old people. Okay, now all the money I got, who are you? So now you go to old age house. Now what is old age house? This is crying house. People, they are crying. My son, America. My son, USA. My son, Australia. And where are you, Baba? You're crying. Nobody is there to speak. Loneliness. And this is the result of mundane education and whatever the property or the power they have gained. At the time of old age, they are simply suffering. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings, Jivana jata no hoina ekan sevidya avidya veda, avidyāra jval gatila vishama sevidya hoila shesh. Life has become agony now. That knowledge has become ignorance, and the burning pain of ignorance has become intolerable. Mundane knowledge has become a pointed shaft. So he's saying, life is miserable. In old age, life has become miserable because body is not cooperating. When body becomes old, you can't walk, you can't talk, you can't hear, you can't see properly. You can't do function. The senses have become worn out. Doesn't function properly. And what happens? So much of pain. That knowledge, whatever he has learned, it's all ignorance. The burning pain of ignorance has become intolerable. The main problem is in old age to give up attachments. The whole life they have developed attachment for the home, for the chair, for the bed, for kids, for the place where they sleep. And they can't give up that place. It becomes very difficult because the fear of death will be there in the mind. Because they know they are going to die one day and it's not so long. And they are going to give up everything. So the fear of attachment, I have to give up all these things, what will happen? If I die, I have to give up all this. So unless one is knowledgeable that it's temporary, it's nothing going to stay with me, I have to die, I am not this body, I am spirit soul, life will become miserable. So that's why Shastra advises from childhood, Kamaramacharya Pragya Dharman Bhagavatam. From childhood, you should continuously hear Bhagavatam, practice renunciation, practice Dharma. And at the time of death, if you have practiced well, then the result will be that you will be peaceful, you will not be attached. You can happily leave this body. In the sense, you are not attached to this body, you are not attached to this material world. So, otherwise, there is so much pain. Attachment causes pain. And on old age time, so much attached and very difficult to give up that attachments. Tomara charane bina kichu dhan samsare na ache ar Bhaktivinoda Jada vidyāchari tuva pada padasa. Oh Lord, there is no treasure in this world but your lotus feet. Thus Bhaktivinoda, giving up all mundane knowledge makes your lotus feet the sum and substance of his life. So unless and until one surrenders to Lord completely, giving up all his mundane knowledge, one cannot be happy in this life. Everybody is searching for happiness. How to be happy, how to be happy. Happiness. The mantra for happiness is surrender to Lord. What is surrender? What is surrender?
Doing things for Krishna's pleasure, not for our pleasure.
Whenever police comes to thief with gun, surrender they say. Surrender means you give up. You give up what? We give up whatever you are having. Actually we don't have anything to give up. But we claim ourselves to be the owner, the in charge. We think, this is me, this is I am, this is mine. But surrender means you think this is not mine, this is Krishna's. I have to utilize everything in Krishna's service. So surrender means you give up your process of trying to be happy without Krishna. Surrender means you try to understand what Krishna wants and act accordingly. Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja amta sarva papebhyo mokshayami. And what did Arjuna do? Arjuna surrendered. Means, what did he do? He gave up fight. Did he give up fight? No, he fought. But he understood. Fight must be for the pleasure of Lord. So surrender means the activities, whatever we are doing, it should be according to Guru Sadhu Shastra for the pleasure of Krishna. So, until and unless we realize this point of surrender, that I have to do everything for the pleasure of Krishna, I have to do what Krishna likes, what Krishna wants, what Krishna asks us to do in Bhagavad Gita. Unless we surrender ourselves completely, there is no hope of happiness and there is no hope of giving up these mundane attachments too. Because these attachments, what happens, we develop, as long as we have the taste for enjoying this material world, we cannot give ourselves completely to Krishna. So giving up the mundane taste and surrendering to Krishna, this happens simultaneously, side by side. The more we try to engage ourselves in chanting, the more we try to engage ourselves in seva, automatically what happens? The taste for enjoying this material world reduces. So this is the process of surrender. The process of surrender is Shravanam Kirtanam. We try to hear more about Krishna, we try to hear Bhagavatam from Bhagavatas, those who are following Bhagavatam, and we try to apply the knowledge gradually. This is a gradual process. Like yesterday was Vamana Dwadasi, we hear the story of surrender, how Bali Maharaj gave up everything completely and he surrendered to Lord. So we cannot do that like Bali Maharaj in 1 second. Of course, it takes 1 minute to surrender. In Prabhupada lecture we hear how much time it takes to surrender. 1 minute, Prabhupada says, 1 minute, yes, you can surrender to Lord. But it's not that easy that in 1 minute you can give up everything. Yeah, it is possible, why not? Prabhupada says 1 minute to surrender. Like Bali Maharaj, he just surrendered completely everything to Lord. But it's the process, gradual process is there. So we chant, we hear, we practice, we associate with devotees. Gradually we give up our mundane attachments. Gradually. And then we follow the regulative principles. For regulative principles, try to take only Krishna Prasadam. So in this way, when we apply ourselves to the process, then surrender is possible. Surrender is not mechanical process. It's not by force. It's like police takes the gun and he keeps on your forehead and immediately you give up. Krishna will not do that he's going to put the gun and you have to surrender. It's not like that. It comes by practice, gradually. And this is not by force. This is loving devotional service. Prabhupada always says loving devotional service. Means it is done with love and affection. We try to chant, but we try to hear about Krishna. When we hear about Krishna, then we develop taste in chanting. When we try to serve, without hearing, we cannot serve. So when you hear about Krishna, then we develop taste for doing seva. So surrender means we should hear Bhagavatam, we should study Bhagavatam, associate with the devotees, then life will become happy. Hare Krishna. Any questions? Okay, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.